Are you bringing us in, Doug?
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Mind Your Own Business with Doug and Ed on AM 1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We're really happy to have our next guest with us. He's my buddy. Are we buddies?
Of course we're buddies.
And Alan is, are you the president? What are you, the committee? The president?
I'm the chair of the Canyon Country Advisory Committee.
Right, and he's also on the Canyon Country Merchants Association with me. And we're also fellow members of the Elks Club. We run into each other there. He's also recently announced his candidacy for the Santa Clarita City Council. Our special guest today is Mr. Alan Ferdman. Alan.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Doug. It's a pleasure to be here.
I feel like we should have had like an applause track or something.
Yeah, we should
all
have
those credentials. Yeah, he does more stuff with you than me, Doug.
There's a reason.
You like Doug?
Well, yeah, I like Doug. He's okay. Plus, even tonight.
Come on, sell it to me.
Well, even tonight at the Elks Club, I'm going to serve him dinner.
It's Friday.
Oh, you're serving
right,
tonight?
Yeah,
It's
all right.
Friday again?
Oh, that's right. It's a team Spencerville evening.
Oh, it is.
Good. All
I
right.
can't believe it.
So, Alan, give us a little background. When did you move to Santa Clarita?
Well, I moved, my wife and I moved our family to Santa Clarita in 1965.
Wow.
It wasn't much out here then. And currently, in raising our family, we now have 4 generations living here. My parents, my mother moved out here in 2000, and so I have my mother, my uncle, my brother, 2 boys, grandchildren, all living out here in Santa Clarita.
And I assume you live in the Canyon Country area?
I moved out here into the Canyon Country area right by the radio station, actually, and moved out here, moved into that first house and never left.
Really? All this time?
All this time, one place.
Good for you. Now, tell us a little about the background and why you decided to start the Canyon Country Advisory Committee.
Well, I didn't actually start the Canyon Country Advisory Committee. The Canyon Country Advisory Committee was started by the city in 1997, and it was going along. And around 2000, there was a big dispute about the oversized vehicle parking ordinance. And I saw some articles in the paper that talked about the Canyon Country Advisory Committee. At that time, it was called the Canyon Country Better Than Ever Committee, and I went and joined. And about 2 years later, the city withdrew its staff members, and we elected officers. I was elected as the chair, and this is going to be my 11th year.
Okay. And what is the primary focus of the committee? What is your objective?
Well, our objective is to keep the community informed about issues that are important to our local residents. We bring in speakers from the city, from developers, from different interest groups, and we try to get both sides of every issue to be heard there, so that people can make up their own mind as to what they want to support and what they would like to oppose.
And I also, at some point in time, you started going to city council meetings.
Yes, city council, yes. As my involvement in the Canyon Country Advisory Committee grew, so did my interest in what was going on within the city and what was happening at city council meetings. For the last probably 3 years, I've been going to almost every city council meeting and seeing how things are shaping up.
And they're glad to see you, right?
Oh, they're absolutely glad to see me.
Sarcasm.
What do you mean sarcasm? I'm sure that they are. They smile when I walk in the door.
Do you think their behavior changes because you're there every time?
No, I think their behavior is pretty much their behavior. But it's been very interesting. We have a lot of new issues coming up. City is kind of at a tipping point right now. We're seeing a lot of changes. We're having a change in city management. We want to make sure that our city stays in the kind of community that's very family friendly, and I think it's going to take some effort to make sure that stays that way.
Now, Alan, some folks, our listeners out there, might not know, but when you run for city council or you are a city councilman, there's no districts, right? What's the word you use?
That's correct.
The free for all. I don't know what you call it.
Well, they're council members at large.
Right.
Who's allowed to vote?
Who's allowed to vote?
Anybody over 18? Any over 17?
Any registered voter who lives within the boundaries of the city of Santa Clarita.
Okay, is it Santa Clarita and across the freeway on the other side of Old Road, Stevenson's Ranch?
The Stevenson Ranch is not in the city of Santa Clarita right now. It's in the unincorporated area. Possibly at some future date they'll annex in, but right now they are not in the city.
So it's like 176,000 people can vote for you.
Well, it's actually more than that now. Since we annexed in Fair Oaks, it's about 204,000 people in the city.
Oh, wow.
And
So, Alan, tell me why, after 11 years on your Canyon Country Advisory Committee, and then I assume you're retired these days from your career, why did you decide you're going to jump into this political race?
Because, like I said, I think Santa Clarita is at a tipping point. I think we need to see some change in the way things are going on. It seems like our council right now has gotten a little complacent and doesn't really have that fire in their belly to go run, to go and work those tough kind of issues that we need to see work.
All right. And we're coming up on a break. How about when we get back and we want to talk about some of those issues?
Absolutely.
See what your feelings are on those?
Okay.
Okay.
You're listening to Mind Your Own Business, hometown station AM-1220 KHTS, and with Doug and Ed.
All right, we have some breaking news. There is a fire, 30 to 40 acres in Castaic. The number 1 lane is closed. Southbound I-5 north of Lake Hughes Road is at second alarm.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to use.
Okay. Tilo, while you're at it, why don't you do Tilo's tidbits, please?
All right, thanks, Doug. Okay, so here's a bunch of fun events going on this weekend. If you want to get your calendars ready, there's the Old Town Newhall Block Party this Saturday, May 18th from 10 to 5 p.m. at downtown Newhall. Also, visit Emily's Skincare while you're down there. Copper Eagle Patrol and Security has a free self-defense class this Sunday, May 19th from 3 p.m. till 4 p.m. Also, Happy Pets on Newhall Ranch Road has an open house and pet fair on Sunday, May 19th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And upcoming events to look forward to is the artist reception at Fast Frame in the Cole Shopping Center, Saturday, June 8th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And last but not least, we will probably have these guests on here to talk about this more, but the Old Town Newhall Association 4th Annual Car Show is coming up June 23rd, so mark your calendars. It should be a fun time from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. in downtown Newhall.
Thank you, Tilo. You're listening to AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. Mind Your Own Business with Doug and Ed, and our special guest is Mr. Alan Ferdman, who's running for the Santa Clarita City Council. When we went to the break, Alan, you were going to talk about what's on your mind and what you think needs to be some stuff to be looked at and what you want to try to affect when you become councilman.
Well, one of the biggest issues that's going on in Santa Clarita today is the issue of salt in our sanitation district wastewater. And right now there are information meetings being held by the sanitation district. There is going to be a sanitation board meeting on May the 22nd at City Hall, where there are 2 elected representatives who are on the sanitation district, Mayor Keller and Councilwoman West, who will be discussing rate increases. And then on May the 23rd, at the sports complex, at Activity Center, there's going to be an information discussion about the sanitation district's proposals for 4 different options in solving the wastewater problem, all of which tend to revolve around providing water to strawberry farmers in strawberry farmers in Ventura, and really doesn't benefit our community in Santa Clarita at all.
But I think what folks don't realize, correct me if I'm wrong, this could actually affect our pocketbooks as Santa Claritans.
Big time.
Oh, it's going to affect our pocketbooks big time.
And I don't think folks realize that.
Well, I agree with you. We're talking about projects that are proposed at $120 million, $140 million, and we realize that most of these projects never come in at budget. They always cost more than they have been quoted as costing. Plus the fact that option 4, which is the option that has been the preferred of the sanitation district, sends all of our wastewater plus 6 million gallons, up to 6 million gallons a day of Saugus aquifer water down to Ventura, and that will prevent us from being able to recycle. Now, if we follow the One Valley, One Vision plan and our population doubles, we're going to need twice the amount of water we have today. Today we use 60 million gallons of water a day, and this will prevent us from recycling 30% of that water.
So vote no.
So vote no. Well, unfortunately, there's not a vote. Unfortunately, this all comes down to what the
people?
sanitation district proposes and what our sanitation board approves. So the big issue is to go and get informed about what's going on at the informational meeting, and then later there'll be public hearings where all of our comments will be transcribed and will become part of the public record, so that we can thoroughly try to influence the decision in a way that best benefits our area.
Alan, I'd like to change the subject if I could. One of the biggest complaints I hear from business folk is the permitting process from the city, and what a nightmare it is. You ask anybody who's tried to start a business, particularly if they have a building, a build out, and you ask them how to go with the city, they cringe. And you say, well, you know, this is a business friendly city. It's how it's touted. And they laugh. Do you have any thoughts on that subject?
Well, I don't think you don't have to just go to anybody that's starting a business. All you have to do is go to anybody that's pulled permits to remodel their house, and you'll find that they're going to tell you exactly the same thing. So there definitely is streamlining that needs to occur in the permitting process. And there definitely needs to be more training for the individuals that work those processes, so that you get consistent answers and so that you truly understand what's going on going in, rather than having to find out a little bit at a time as the project proceeds.
Yeah.
And the last part of that is that I have a firm belief that all of the fees and charges that the city uses have a definite intended purpose, and we need to audit those to make sure that those fees, while they have to be, we have to pay for what we get, they need to definitely be the minimum amount that we need to pay. So I would think those things, those kind of streamlining, the kind of training, and the auditing and ensuring that the fees are what absolutely has to happen, will definitely benefit the startup businesses.
And that's something you would want to affect if you were elected.
That is something definitely. It's one of my opportunities, my 8 great opportunities for Santa Clarita's future success. Talk specifically to that, and that is one of the issues that I would be trying to instill in the governmental process.
Okay, so let's assume that you win the city council position. I elect myself to be you in the audience when you're on the council, because somebody's got to replace you going to every city council meeting and watching what's going on.
Well, I would hope, I would hope that a lot of people would go to every city council meeting. And you know, that's one of the most that's one of the things that right at the beginning we need to ensure that we represent all of our residents equally and fairly, and listen to what they have to say.
Alan, we appreciate it. We're short of time. We're coming up on the top of the news hour, and we're going to have you back because we ran out of time. So we appreciate you coming down. I know we're going to hear a lot more about you and of you, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks.
See you
again
next
for coming.
week.
All right, everybody. See you next week. Sorry about that.